Hi there, welcome back to the channel and thank you for joining me once again. Well, today we are back in the realms of the classic, ancient you might even say, vintage Matchbox kits. Purple range again, and a plain, certainly the Brits I think will probably remember this one, a model that many of you may have had and built, or maybe had several versions of. It's the Sidley Hawk, of course. Now this came out in 75. I didn't see it until 76, 77 I think, a little bit later for some reason, but here we have a very nice example of it, an original. It says, this is an air show, and it says the Sidley Hawk 1182 is in the hands of Chief Test Pilot Duncan Simpson and turns over the east end of the Farnborough runway during the 1974 September air show. SBAC air show. Don't know what that stands for. The first public presentation of Hawker Sidley's latest military aircraft. So this was the debut of the Hawk in 74. Wow, that's impressive. Okay, I like it. It's quite a nice artwork. Mine's got a bit of yellow cast in it. I think in truth it may have been sitting in a shop window and got a little bit of UV light on it, because it's not quite right. I've got another one, but that one's a little bit bash, so we didn't want to go with that one. But say it's got a slightly yellow cast to it, like it's had a bit of UV. But the rest of the box seems fine. And when you look at it on this side, now this is where it gets quite interesting, because we've got some weapons. We've got a matter rocket pod there, and it looks like an Aiden or maybe yeah, it's an Aiden gun pack underneath. So let's just wind back and show you this. So this is the artwork on the back. You can see it says 1975 here. This is the prototype RAF jet trainer. This is the one that did the display in 1974. And then underneath, this is the prototype of the ground attack version. And indeed, we've got matter rocket pods and an Aiden gun pack down the centre line. So this is what developed into the aircraft they sold to lots of other countries, like I think the Saudis bought it, the Indians bought it, a number of countries. I'm trying to think, Chile or Peru, one of them, South America bought it as well, I think. On the side, of course, we've got that showing you the typical artwork, clarifying what it'll look like when it's not painted. It's PK-27, so obviously it's one of the later generation ones. And then we've got some adverts on the side for the Henshaw, the Gladiator, Messerschmitt 262 Swallow, and the Brewster Buffalo. So let's just take a look inside. Now this has got a price on from Warren's, which I think was a model shop, or maybe I think it was Warren's. Rings a bell, that name, but anyway, it's 55 pence. So this is kind of back in the day price, not far off anyway. Probably about 78, 79 price, I'm honest, but we'll have a look. What have we got? Let's see. What's inside? Ooh, careful, careful, careful. Right. Oh, so we've got quite a big... Oh, we've got a piece that's off the sprue. We've got quite a big sprue clear part, so... We've got a grey sprue and a green sprue, which I think is an excellent choice of unusually good choice for Matchbox. Sometimes they choose the most daft colours you've ever seen, but those are a great choice. Now we have here slightly crinkled, because I think it's been near some damp. Yeah, crinkled decals. Oh dear, they're a bit. No, they are. That's had some damp on it. I'm sorry. Put this in front of the camera. It's. Yeah, a little bit of a struggle to get them off. It's coming, it's coming. Sometimes you're very, very gentle. Do it slowly. Just don't think that the paper was very good either. The you know, the tissue that we put on it wasn't brilliant. It's coming off. Most of it's okay. I think they'll clean up all right. But I think you get away with that. Excuse me. Anyway, we've got the obviously got the trainer option, or the RAF option, ground attack option. Seen better days though, fair to say. Alright, we have got a very nice sprue, clear sprue with a canopy, which looks really nice actually. That's a little bit scuffed, yeah, it's had a little bit of wear in the box. But it's a proper clear sprue, which you often don't get with Matchbox. You just get a bit of canopy thrown in there. So that's quite nice, that's very original. We have the ubiquitous Matchbox stand as normal. And we have what looks like the jet pipe here. Oops, it's come off the sprue. Don't know how I managed it, where it came from. Just looking now to see if that's obvious. But no. Yes, I can see now. That is okay. Anyway, for some reason they've dropped the purple colouring of the instructions, which is a shame. And it gives a little bit of a spiel here, and it says, after a considerable amount of thinking and investigation into the requirements, the RAF suggested the outline spec for the trainer to replace the Gnat and the Hunter and the later Jet Provis. So they're trying to roll it all into one aircraft, basically. So Hawker and BAC submitted designs. However, the Hawker Sidley 1182, now known as the Hawk, won the contract. An order was placed for 175 planes, including one pre-production machine with great efforts have been made to ensure the Hawk will fulfil both its trainer and ground attack roles with great reliability, whilst careful design has kept unit price to a minimum. All the drawings from the outset have been production standard. Underwing hardpoints fitted with the Aiden gun can now be fitted also under the fuselage and the ground attack variant, and it has a wide variety of bombs or rockets which can be carried, and it has 2 Martin Baker ejector seats fitted. Okay, on the back, I wish I wouldn't do it in white, it looks a bit shabby and cheap, doesn't it? But anyway, you can see here on the back we've got your call outs for your small parts. You've got your wheel tyres, your legs, front nose leg, jet pipe, which is the bit that's off the sprue, and the pilot, and then we've got our Matra rocket pods for the ground attack version, which is very tempting to do. You've got your inner doors for your wheel well bay and inside the cockpit area. Obviously you've got your Humbrel call outs, and then we get into the instructions properly, which are as follows. Ejector seats for the front and rear guys putting the pilots in, and they've both got a stick, which is good. A little bit more detail perhaps in the inside of the cockpit than normal. Then we have options where you obviously have the it looks like you have, oh no you don't, that's strange. I was about to say you have got the hole already created, version 1 or version 2, depending on whether you're going to have the stand or not, but that's a bit confusing. Then it mentions nose weight but doesn't tell you how much, which isn't very helpful, is it? Still don't get that. See what I'm talking about here? They are talking about version 1 or version 2. Now what on earth do they mean? Because they're talking about plugging up a hole. Version 1, version 2. That arrow appears to be pointing to the hole for the stand. Version 2 has a plug in it. I don't see what that would be. Part 38. Let me just. This is very bizarre. Let me just check this out. Part 38. 32. Don't see it anywhere either. Unless it's a clear part. No. That's very odd. They're making no sense, to be honest, with this. Oh yes, there it is, 38. You know, it's a plug for the... I don't get that. So they're showing it as if it has the hole slot for the stand is already there, and you have to plug it up, is what they're saying. But it isn't. I'm looking at the sprue now, and it's not got any hole. So you just ignore that. Absolute nonsense. If you want the stand, though, you have to... No, hang on a second. Now I get it. Now I get it. This is confusing though, very confusing. It's saying if you want the stand, you have to clear the hole. God, why can't they say that? And if you want the version 2, this is a mounting point for the Aiden gun. That's what they're trying to get at. How very bizarre that they didn't make that clearer. Anyway, sorry, but that is a very strange way of going about things. Then on you go stage 3, and then you're putting in your, obviously having to put the old, sorry I'm jumping in. Stage 2, you've put your cockpit in there and you've got your jet pipe at the back, and then you're doing this business about deciding whether you're going to have which version. Stage 3, you put your canopy on and your intakes, and then stage 4 you're off to your tailplanes, undercarriage, Matra rocket pods, and then up to stage 7 where you're putting your wings on. 8 is the Vulcan cannon, the Aiden cannon. Am I right? Did I say Vulcan or Aiden? I thought it was Aiden, to be honest, when I looked at it. Because it looks like the one that's on the Harrier. Yeah, it's Aiden, that's right, I'm right. That was correct. And then finally, you're into your final stages, so you're putting on your... There's all these little strakes that go underneath, these like excuse me, aero strakes that they're just shields and airflow covers for the actuators for the flaps and the aero ailerons. I can't get my words out today. Ailerons. And then the ground attack aircraft, of course, has got its weapons on. So that shows you how to put your Aiden cannon down the centre line and your 2 Matropods on the wings. Gosh, got there in the end. Just a bit confusing the way they did that. I think that lots of youngsters will have stumbled over that. I'd be interested to know if people watching who've made this kit got as confused when they were younger as I just did. No? Okay, well I'm just thinking, okay. Right, let's have a look at this. So we've got the dark green, it's a strange colour for a plane. It kind of looks like it might be more suited to a tank. But it's got a 2-sided tail effect, so you've got no tail on this side of the fuselage obviously, there, no tail just here. And you've got a little bit of flash there unusually on the intakes. And you've got your your Matra rockets, I should say, Matra rocket pod noses here, undercarriage and your baffles. 2 pilots. Here are those little strakes, they're the airflow covers for the actuators for the flaps, etc. And there we have it. There's not a lot of panel line detailing going on, it has to be said, but I guess there isn't much down the sides. A bit on top there. It's all recessed, that's quite good, no problem. Now, the wings. Here we have them. Slight depression there, a little bit of a couple of little flaws in the plastic on this one. I can actually feel that as well, that's a bit disappointing. I wonder if anybody else has ever had that. See that? You can actually feel it. Yes, definitely, there's a fault in the mould, I think there, and it's the same on this side. And again you can feel it. That's a little bit disappointing, I'll have to mark it down for that, I'm afraid. Then you've got your Aiden gun cannon pod underneath. Your wing inserts that go there, because obviously it's just a little stubby insert. Most of the wing is in one piece on this side. And it's actually moulding that's actually created the problem that they've got. You can definitely feel it. If you close your eyes you can feel it, no problem. There's a definite depression there, that's a little bit poor. Matchbox are very good at not doing that normally, so I'm a bit disappointed. Yeah, and then you've got your Matra rocket, the body of the rocket pods here, and you've got your gear doors, tail planes. And there we have it, really. So, what do we think? Well, till I saw the horrible depression in the wing, excuse me, frog in my throat today. Till I saw that horrible depression, I was going to give it sort of 9 out of 10. That's a bit disappointing, that's quite poor. I think you'd have to have a play with that and try and maybe fill it or something. It's really, it is noticeable. I think when you've got paint on it's probably going to make it look worse. So you might want to just rub it and fill it and try and get it to level off, but a bit disappointing. So not one of Matchbox's finest kits that. Good in other respects, you know, it looks sort of right shape and what have you, just a little bit of quality trouble. Anyway, final summary, 7 out of 10, probably quite generous, 7. Give it a thumbs up because it's quite nice and it's got some weapons on it which I always like to see. We'll forgive it its little sin, even though it's quite a bad one. At least it doesn't have any raised panel lines. So 7 out of 10. Anyway, hope you'll give me more than 7 out of 10. Thanks for watching, I hope you enjoyed it, thought it was interesting. Going down memory lane with another vintage kit, which most of you will probably remember. If you did enjoy it, please subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. And if you already have, please don't forget to tick the notification bell because you'll get alerted all the new videos that come up. And we want you to obviously have plenty of time to enjoy others that may be of equal interest. In the meantime, I hope to see you again very soon. Look after yourselves, thanks a lot and bye for now.